when I was watching the fight, I remember thinking, you know, you weren't pulling the trigger, and that was a real issue, because you technically probably looked a bit better than JJ, but he was the aggressor, and you just seemed hesitant. And when I spoke to Jake, he said that when you were fighting JJ, there was maybe a little fear in there, or a bit too careful. Do you feel the same about that?
No, I don't give any fucks anymore, because I can't, and that learning lesson was experienced in that fight.
Okay.
You're right. I remember being, I don't know, like hesitant, like I wasn't throwing. Mm-hmm. What the fuck? Like how are you gonna win a boxing match if you don't throw? And now it's like, that's all I want to do, you know. I gotta let the bombs go if I want to win and do the damage that I know I can do. And we've been working on it for a year and a half, man. It's that killer mentality that Jake has a bit more than me. My thing is, I'm also a bit more calculated. I'm a bit more strategic, and I don't put myself in situations where I'm gonna get fucking knocked out or memed. And so it's that balance of like throwing and not being too vulnerable while you throw recklessly.
Yeah, I spoke to a very good boxer I know who's a pro recently, and he said, like, he's like, the problem with me is I'm a bit too smart for boxing. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I'm a little too aware of all of the consequences and possibilities. So when I'm in there, there's some guys, you see them, the berserkers, who clearly, a bit like Jake, I guess, who will just go in there and think, fuck it, tunnel vision. And then there's other guys who are a bit more like yourself, perhaps, who think a bit too much. And I guess you've got to switch that voice off.
You have to, because bro, the berserkers, as you call it, the brawlers, like when we spar, I catch those guys because they're brawling, and you lose because you're not. But I'm in there like boxing. Mm-hmm. I'm using my brain. I'm watching every fucking move you do, bro. Like that's probably my number one asset is probably my eyes, my vision. Like I see the punches that, and my reaction time is quick. And
You're very fast for a big guy, for sure.
Yeah, I'm fast twitch, and so I catch the brawlers when they're going crazy with these punches, like lean back on the ropes, like throw a big overhand, like I just see it and you get caught. And so I don't want to be that. I don't want to be the thing that I'm fighting against, especially when I'm fighting a dude like Floyd, who is the counter puncher. He is gonna catch you if you fucking slip up, if you overextend a little bit, or don't extend enough, or your timing's off. Like he's gonna get you, you know. And so I gotta be strategic where how and when I'm throwing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Looking back at that training camp and everything, you know, you were in amazing shape, and even in the ring against KSI, yet you were slipping some punches. You just weren't making them pay, as you say. There was no receipt there, but. Shannon Briggs was your coach, the head coach for that. He has now moved on. What was the decision to move him on based on?
I don't know, because I thought Shannon was a good coach. Like I really did, because he was a good boxer. Like he understood what it meant to be the athlete in the ring, as well as the discipline that it took to teach your student. But I felt, to be honest with you, like Milton Supreme, who's my coach now and coached me for the first fight against KSI, I felt like I hadn't quite finished the course, if you will. Like I got halfway through his teachings and then switched things up when I felt like I hadn't. There was unfinished business with his style. Like I wanted to fully absorb and learn it before I moved on to whatever. Like he's my Mr. Miyagi, and his style works really well for the type of athlete that I am, and I didn't master it. Like I want to master it, and I think it's gonna be a really good strategic, elusive fighter in the ring once we do that.
So you're speaking about that style, that Milton style, and I did watch the video with you battering those four brothers, and it's a very unorthodox style, and when I was watching it, I was like, okay, he's taking risks here. It could come across as a sloppy style in regards to the classic boxing style, but
styles make fights. as you know, styles make fights. And the amount of people who watched that video and commented on it, you fight with your hands down. You are going to get beat by Floyd if you do this. Because boxing, like, everyone thinks there's one way to box. What the fuck? Yo, where were these comments when Roy Jones was fighting? Where were these comments when Muhammad Ali was fighting? And like, I understand these are some of the greats, but like, as someone who also wants to be some of the greats, and the projection is there, like, there's not one way to do something.
Here's my thought process. If I was to do some of the things that you do in front of my boxing coach, he would go, no, that's not how a proper boxer does it. Now, you're talking about this style that you're cultivating with Milton. Is it ignorance or is it deliberate? Because I think some people are looking at you going, he's dropping his hands, he doesn't know what he's doing. But what you're saying to me is, no, Milton's very aware of what you're doing, and this is something that you are creating together.
Bro, we fight with our hands down. Like, and guess what? Sometimes we don't. Like, sometimes, for the Gronk brothers, I didn't need to put my hands up. For Floyd, I'm probably gonna need to put my hands up. Like,
okay.
Like, I know both, and I'm versatile. It's one of my strengths. I'm versatile, and so like, and with Floyd, we'll see what happens, bro. I might need to stick my hands right up here, go turtle up in my shell, whatever, or like, maybe I stay elusive. We'll see.
How much of Floyd have you been watching? A
lot, but it's tough because like, he's got every tool in the shed, dude.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? He's his arsenal and his knowledge when it comes to boxing is unlimited. So you never really know what Floyd you're gonna get. He watches you, dude. He watches you like a robot, like a computer, bro. He's gonna come out. He's gonna take a couple steps to his left. He's gonna take a couple steps to his right. See how I react. Watch my footwork. See if I'm crossing my feet. Whatever the fuck I'm doing. Download it. Then set up like 4 different punches off of each one. Like every movement I make, and probably in the first like 2 to 4 rounds, he's gonna keep it real light and just watch me, scan me, and then set me up for shit. And so yeah, we watch Floyd, but you know, at what point is it pointless?
It's funny though. I was watching a podcast with Michael Bisping, the UFC fighter, and he said, you know, even towards the end of his career, if he sparred a guy who was like, you know, just starting or, you know, didn't necessarily have the exact technique that you expect, he would sometimes get caught by guys who weren't as highly trained, because what he's used to is the highly trained guy who does the textbook shit. And possibly by you not having that yet could be an advantage, because you might come at him with something that is completely unorthodox.
When I fought the Gronk brothers, I watched back the footage and I'm like, like okay, like it was kind of sloppy. You know, it didn't look great. And after the fight, I talked to Milton, my boxing coach, and he goes, a bad fighter can make a good fighter look bad. Because we're not in there doing the typical slips and rolls and kind of playing chess with our fists. Like it's a bit more street fight, like dodge a couple punches, make a miss, and just fucking unload my hands on the rookies. And
that was a bit of fun at the end of the day. It was for a YouTube video. It wasn't like exactly. You were fighting 4 guys. Yeah, I get it. So
yeah, man. Like I don't have the 10, 15, 20 years of experience that Floyd has, and I'm not gonna be as like, bro, I'm fucking unorthodox. But mind you, I'm fully equipped to handle Floyd's plan that will change in round 4 or 5 when he adjusts and does what he needs to do to try to get in or break me down, whatever. Like, bro, he's gonna be malleable, you know. And I think he's gonna catch. I think he's gonna catch a really, really, really hard shot to the body, or to the head, or one's gonna whiff him, and he's gonna go, oh fuck. I don't want to get caught by that, because they're gonna be coming all night. And he's not gonna want to get caught by it, and so I bet he's gonna be a little more careful than he thinks.
Yeah, I'd like to see some uppercuts. Just putting that out there with his size.
Oh my god, bro! Oh my god!
Did you? The McGregor fight is the one that I always found interesting, because obviously that's the last real competitive fight he had, and what we seen was a very well executed game plan from Floyd. And we also seen some great mistakes from McGregor that I think you can take a lot from and learn what not to do a little bit. Because although McGregor did win the first 3 rounds, he worked very hard. He used all of his energy. And despite him having better punching power than Floyd, it made no difference whatsoever because Floyd was in defense mode the entire time. And then when he was nice and fresh in rounds 4, 5, and 6, he put the level up and McGregor was just surviving.
Yeah, I mean that surprised me because we know McGregor's gas tank sucks. Like we knew that going into the fight, and Conor knew that. Like everyone knew that. And so I'm not sure if his plan was to truly try to knock Floyd out the first couple rounds, which is like a hard fucking thing to do. Like, bro, if I knock Floyd out, it's gonna be because like God bless me with some miraculous shit, and I catch him with some dumb shit because he thinks I suck. Like, here's what's gonna happen. I'm either gonna knock him out or it's gonna go the distance. But like, my conditioning is sick, dude. Like, I'm ready to fucking go. I'm not gonna punch myself out. Like, I'm not gonna get tired like Conor. I'm not gonna get excited because maybe I landed at one big punch. Like, Floyd's got a chin, bro, and he knows what he's fucking doing.
Earlier on, you were talking about his ego, and that being his biggest weakness, and I agree with you. And I feel like Conor didn't really use that at all. Like, if I'm going, this is my opinion, but like if I was in your situation, I'd be thinking, put all the pressure on Floyd. You know, I'm in there with him. I'm saying, come on then, Mr. Big Boxer, come and knock me out. You come to me. I wouldn't be going at him, expending all that energy. I'd be counter-punching the counter-puncher. I wouldn't be going in there trying to bully him early on, any of that. And I'd be saving my energy for those later rounds going, I'm going to turn this shit up in rounds 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to be making sure I'm ready. You know what I mean? And I think the more you clown him and fuck with him, the better. Like, the more he is not thinking about boxing and the more he's getting frustrated. And if the crowd are booing early on, it's probably going well for you, like, to be honest with you. That's how I see it.
Hey, I'll go, hey, they're booing you, champ.
Yeah, this is all for you.
I go, you're
the fucking best ever. I'm just this YouTuber.
I'm the fake fighter, bro.
Yeah, why haven't you knocked me out yet, bro? I'd be doing this. I'd be looking at my wrist, checking the time, going, I'm still here. Another round, I'm still here. Like, oh, another minute gone by, you still haven't knocked me out. I would be clowning him and just putting as much pressure on him to come to you as possible, because that for me, if as people are saying, it's a miracle if it happens. I think you got to make him go first if you are going to catch him, and especially with that reach, 100%. That might be your best shot.
100%, baby. Yeah. Any more ideas? Pitch them my way. I love this. These are great. I'll do all of them.
Checking the time. Oh, I'm still alive.
I'll do all of them.